the most. You disgust me.
You piece of
You're
shit.
talking to a mirror. Exactly.
I know what I
I hate
said.
everyone equally, except me. I hate him the most.
Oh, god damn it.
It's a fun double-sided joke with that one.
Yeah, that's like a continuing joke that will never die.
Yeah.
It's a good one. We can all appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it makes it sound like you have low self-esteem. And it's like, you're right, but
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah. I use it as a way to blow
Oh,
off
you
steam,
should-
too. It's like, I'm a piece of shit. And afterwards, I'm like, all right, I got it out of my system. Feel a little better. Still a piece of shit, though.
Yeah. Still feel like I want to kill myself, but not as much as before. I got it out of my system.
I'm learning to cope. All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been recording, by the way.
Are you Mark?
Got to hear the conversation of us hating ourselves.
God damn it! I wasn't ready with the backup file.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Fine.
I'm sorry.
God damn it, MJ.
Fuck it, we're doing it live? Once again, I've ruined
Anyway.
everything.
So anyways, back to the commentary.
So yeah, I
my
just
God.
dropped us in the middle of a conversation we're just having, but yeah.
Yeah.
We're back
Back
to taking
to the-
out Celadon City. Jim.
Yeah, so... Yeah, more grass and a bunch of ladies and, you know, being horny and all that. But they're outside that point. Anyways,
Yeah, that's one guy out there. They already hate him.
Yeah.
And they think we're them. They think we're him. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I thought it was an old lady at first out there. I was just like, what's wrong with this? And then once they said it was an old man, I was like, oh, that makes much more sense. Oh, execute. Oh,
That
boy.
one big egg in the middle.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's a big egg and then a bunch of other companion eggs.
Yeah.
Ah, barrage! No! Multi-hit moves. Oh yeah, there's another somewhat glitch I forgot about. Critical hit on multi-hit moves.
Yeah, I
If you
remember
get a critical
that.
hit on the first one, you get a critical hit on all of them.
That only matters if you can actually get all the hits to connect to begin with anyway.
Yep. Oh, there it is. Hypnosis. But yeah, last time we were talking about, what we thought of the current gen / last gen.
Which was overall kind of rough. The
Yep.
only games I can think of that I played were, let's see, Ratchet and Clank, the rebooted one,
Yep.
which I liked for the gameplay, but the story itself leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah,
I feel
well,
like they kind of ruined the various. I hope they, if you saw the game, you probably understand why. But the way
Right.
they handled it in that game is kind of off in comparison to how they handled him in the third game. There's no real there's no real straight man in the relationship between him and
Correct.
Drek, yeah. Well,
So
maybe
that was kind
they'll fix that in the second game. Maybe they'll get Lawrence back in.
Yeah, I hope they do. Because if they do, that's going to really redeem it.
I'm
by
sure
a
they'll
lot.
allude to him at the very least at the end of the game, probably hint at him being the next villain. Because, of course.
I mean, it is nefarious, and I do like him. It's just, this game was kind of a little bit of a rough patch because of what they did overall. There's him. There's Ratchet and Clank. I did say Dark Souls 3. I'm still playing through that right now currently. That's the only game in my library that I haven't really beaten yet. Let's see. There's that. Those two. Persona 5, which is fucking glorious.
Oh yeah, Persona 5. Right. That's a really good one too. I'm hoping it comes to Switch, but I'm doubtful.
Yeah, don't hold your breath on it.
It would be nice though.
But
because Atlus works with Nintendo a good bit too, with like the Shin Megami Tensei games and all that.
yeah, they're also Sega and Nintendo are kind of buddy with each other, so here's the hope I suppose. But
it'd be nice to have it portable. That'd be amazing.
yeah, portable Persona 5. I mean, it sure would run like dog. It's a RPG game.
Yeah. Also,
It's
we're finally.
turn-based RPG.
Yep. Also, we're finally battling Erica, the high as shit gym leader.
Yeah.
The pothead.
Yeah. Imagine she just sits there and just smokes weed every day, all day.
I mean, she's supposed to be Zen, but come on.
I know it's
Yeah.
Zen, but for the joke's sake, it's
She's a grass type gym leader. Come on. Also,
I mean,
Victory Bell looks like a vicious fleshlight. It's horrifying.
You would.
That was an honest trailer joke.
I'm seeing something else, but I'm not gonna say too much on that end.
Okay,
It's
well,
probably
what
better
it's supposed to be is a
A Venus flytrap, yeah.
Yeah, Venus flytrap. Even though that technically goes to so they got two. So that's it. Gen 1 got so lazy they had to reuse a flytrap twice
Yep.
with Venusaur and now Victory Bell.
Also, one of the few pure grass types in this game.
I think it's the only one.
It's the only one in Gen 1.
Okay, yeah, alright, yeah. It's not that strong, but hey, if you want one that doesn't have poison, there you go. And it has Constrict. It looks like it'd be like Binder Wrap, but isn't. And it's worse.
Until Gen 4 where Tang Growth comes a thing. Looks weird as hell, but in
It's
terms of what it
stronger.
can do,
Mm-hmm.
its attack and defense is up the fucking roof. Especially with that Power Whip move. Smashes the fuck out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Vileplume, looking like she's wearing a hat. Or it's wearing a hat. Just the way that hand is, it looks like it's like rearranging its head.
Yeah, I can see it.
Now just imagining it like crushing itself over its weight of its head.
Yeah. I mean, it does plant itself on the ground and then it just gets stuck and can't get out. It's just like...
No, might as well use Ingrain.
Oh god, Pedal Dance! Signature move of Vileplume in this game. Or the Amish family in
And
general.
one of the most powerful grass moves in all of Pokemon.
Yeah,
Some Pokemon you can learn it.
it's basically Outrage for grass types.
Yep.
After 3 hits, it gets confused. Although I think if the last hit doesn't connect, it doesn't get confused. It's weird how those moves work.
Yeah.
There we go. My buff as shit Arcanine with a shitty fire move managed to win.
You got this from the whatchamacallit, the rentals. That's why it has Ember instead of Flamethrower.
God damn it. They took my Arcanine. No wonder why he sucked. But I didn't want to wait till level 50. That's your problem. God damn it. But they're not wrong.
Yeah, they're not wrong, but fuck them anyway.
God damn it.
I just remember there's a couple of other PS4 games I still had in my library that... Well, actually, I didn't even touch any of them because 2 of them were, what? Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5, and we all know how... Well, actually, Grand Theft Auto 5 have lightened up a little bit on
GTA 5 is fine, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is overrated.
Yeah, Red Dead
Still
Redemption 2 is
fine,
overrated.
but...
It's fine, but I don't think it deserves as much praise as it does.
It's not one of the greatest games ever.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 I lightened up on because it is probably the first of its kind for the Western of it game, even though...
Yakuza did it better, yeah. And
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, but it's because nobody knew about it at the time. So I'll give Grand Theft Auto 5 a little bit of slack, but I can't do the same for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yakuza's starting to get more wide appeal, thank goodness.
Yeah, I'm glad too, because that's a really good... It's janky as hell, but it's a fun-ass game.
Yeah. When Microsoft is marketing Yakuza, you know they're probably doing something right.
Yeah, that's the first good thing that they've done so far.
Yeah?
Besides the Game Pass in general, which...
Oh, yeah.
has been-
Yeah, Yakuza Kiwami on Game Pass, yeah. If I had Game Pass, I would definitely play that shit.
Play Kiwami. Oh, I would recommend starting at 0 first,
Makes sense.
then going to Kiwami, because 0 is actually like the real beginning of the Yakuza series as a whole.
I could be wrong, but I think Zero might also be on Game Pass.
I think 0 is on Game Pass as well, and if it is, I would recommend getting both
like,
of those. and
As
starting
much
from
as
0.
much as Microsoft doesn't have a lot of great exclusives, I gotta say, the way they've improved their service with, like, Game Pass, oh my god. If you game a lot, not having Game Pass feels like a bit of a sin. But, again, that's if you're willing to pay subscription to have hundreds of games to play at your own time, but they could go away at any point.
Yeah, like if you... Like, I like that kind of a principle as well. If you're going to, like, a game subscription and then you have a bunch of games
It's like,
whole.
you have a bunch of games
How much
available
is
to
the Game
you.
Pass, out of curiosity?
Hmm?
How much is the Game Pass?
For a year, it's $120 a year. So basically $10 a
Really
month.
Good. That is really fucking good. Because when you think about it, it's like, how
got-
much is a game regularly?
Yeah, you got over
$60?
100 games for unlimited access. I mean, for a limited time, but all those 100 games you could play as much as you want. Like, every month it changes a little bit, but some, like the first-party Microsoft games, are permanent. So, yeah, you can just pay a monthly subscription to play all these games. It's the price of getting 2 new games a year.
Yeah, and the only, and to be fair, like, I'm looking at it, it's like, how many games do I have for my fucking PlayStation 4, which is like 6 or 7, I haven't even touched all of them, because some of them I don't care for,
Yeah.
honestly, and it's just like, oh yeah, that was the other one, Crash Bandicoot, The Insane Trilogy.
Ah, yeah. The Insane Trilogy. Timed
Sonic
exclusive,
Trilogy.
but, yeah. It's timed exclusive,
Yeah.
but, you know, it was good. Which reminds
Yeah,
me, I still gotta find my copy. I think I lost my physical copy somewhere, which pisses me off.
Yeah, but outside of that, like, what? That's like 6 or 7 games, and each one of them was probably like $60 at
I also have the
most.
Spyro
And Final
trilogy.
Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah, oh yeah. Spyro trilogy.
I have played through Spyro 2. It's just as good as I remembered.
Good to know that Ricto's still just as good of a villain as he was with the first song.
Yeah, although getting some of the achievements can be a bummer, like trying to beat the bosses without taking damage. Goddamn
Yeah, that's
Ripto.
always fun.
Or a skill point, for that, rather.
Yeah, skill point.
Beating Ripto without taking damage is a bitch. But again, it's a challenge thing, so I could admire it, but the janky end of the fight can piss you off a little bit.
Yeah, but the thing with dodge challenges is the moment you have to deal with the jank, you'll notice the jank more when you're going for challenge runs. That's the thing about them.
The old school platformers.
Yeah. Old school jank.
Mm-hmm. All about that jank.
Actually, that's like the thing with jank is that it seems to like be inherent throughout a lot of games.
Yeah. Well, that was Insomniac where they were starting to get big. Just like Crash
Yeah.
was for Naughty Dog when they were starting to get big. Although both companies were around before that, just nothing of note, I don't think, before those.
Yeah.
And I do know, like, and the only thing that fucking, whatchamacallit, the Sly Cooper guys, Sucker Punch, like, what they have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ghost of
Okay,
Tsushima,
go on.
I forgot. That game actually looks interesting. Could be one of the better open world games.
I'm not looking forward to it just mostly because of the fact that it's just another open world game. It's just like,
I
we've
mean-
had this fucking thing.
I mean,
There's just so many of them.
I could trust Sucker Punch though. I'm willing to see how people think of it when it comes out, because, well, from what I've heard, apparently it could be densely packed, but, well, again, we'll have to wait to release to really know for
I'm
sure.
gonna sit and wait it out because I'm
Yeah.
just sick of seeing more of open world games. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's been a running gag with a lot of those, like the modern games. Just like, here, a giant open world game that's like 200 hours long.
That's
been like every company too. It's like, what?
Well, I mean, it could be worse. They could add a battle royale mode.
Black Ops 4. The shooting is great. From what I like, my one of the streamers that I do plays Black Ops 4, but he only plays it because he likes the shooting feel. He does not like the fact that there's battle royale everywhere.
Yeah. I could get you liking it for the gunplay. I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
at its
just-
core, it is a good first-person shooter. It's just games come out too frequently, and the modes are just catering to other trends.
Trends, yeah, it's going to trends, which
That's
when you do that,
That's a big problem I've had with modern gaming. It's tried to feel like they've been trying to be trendy rather than innovative.
and there's not
Yeah.
enough genres being like given to us as variety. It's either the big market games are either like open world games.
It's mostly
Or-
third-person shooters in my eyes. And third-person action games.
I see a lot of open world games.
Oh, yeah.
In particular in my front.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's my defense for saying I don't really like a lot of Sony's games and didn't even feel like getting a PS4, because a lot of their games feel the same. It feels like
Yeah,
one of those games, you play one of them, you feel like you've seen what half of their library is.
Yeah, and you know what? The more I look back at that, I won't argue that logic because like what is it?
Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted 4, God of War. You could make some loose debates saying they are very similar games. Loose
Not sure about-
debates, but
Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War, I can't really say the same thing for. I can say the same thing for Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War. I can't say the same thing for Uncharted 4.
well, Uncharted 4 is a little better. Yeah.
Uncharted 4 is a little bit better with that.
That's a
because of
little
the
more
third-person shooter.
linear, which is actually good for an industry that's been losing a lot of its linearity in game design.
Yeah. And I heard about what they're doing for The Last of Us 2, which
Oh yeah, the story
There's
leaks.
been-
We're not going to say anything
the
about it,
story
but
leak-
apparently people do not
It's
like
bad.
how the story turned out. Yep.
and there's that, and also I don't really care because quite frankly, I never got into The Last of Us like everyone else did.
Apparently
Maybe-
there's
I
been
really
a-
do want to give it a chance.
Sounds like there's a
but-
lot of like controversy within the company too, like frickin'
Yeah, it's
with
been a lot
like
of
Neil
falling out
Druckmann and
with
all
companies.
that, and a lot of the
Yeah.
people who worked on the good games left already. Like,
Yeah.
oh man,
It's pretty rough when you see shit like that happen because it's like you got a bunch of developers who are probably being underpaid, underworked, or
yeah,
overworked, excuse me, just being disrespected, and it's just kind of like,
yeah. I'm more
It's kinda
angry.
why I don't really.
I'm more mad at the project leads rather than the developers themselves. They're just doing what they can to try to make a good game, and
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure
like,
the gameplay can still be good, but well,
The developers themselves, I'm not going to get mad at because
No.
developers are just trying to do their job, and like when you sit down, like let's take Contra, like whatever, Rocore or Hardcore.
oh yeah, Rocord, yep.
the developers were initially like the original developers of Contra, so like the guys that did Contra 3 and all them, so they know what the fuck they're doing, and
But Konami,
and Konami just higher ups like going down there and telling like, oh, change it to this so that we can add microtransactions and shit like that from this giant ass mobile game which looks like shit.
Yep.
And it's like, you think the developers really want to make a game like this, or have like higher ups sit here telling you, hey, add microtransactions and shit like this? Here, who cares if the game doesn't work? Just add the microtransactions because we want those working more than anything else. Like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Yeah.
Do you even game, bro? Because if not, just step the fuck down. You're a businessman, not a gamer.
Another one of the sad things about this generation, some of the best games have been remakes of older games. Like,
yeah, that's the problem. This is the generation of remakes and remasters. And you know what?
Crash Trilogy, Spyro Trilogy, RE2, RE3,
Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7. Like
Dragon Quest 11 remaster, Persona 5.
Well, Dragon Quest 11 was more like a port rather than a remaster. Although the Switch version was ideal.
Remasters and ports, I feel like remasters just a glorified way of saying port.
Yeah, I mean,
because let's be real here. If you've ever seen a remaster, it's never really tweaked well.
Dragon Quest 11 last technically was a remaster, I guess, but
yeah. Really, it's like because remaster is just a glorified way of saying a straight port of a game that's been there for like years ago. Because whenever you see a remaster,
it's modernizing
it at all.
It's modernizing,
barely touched.
Yeah.
Well, in some cases, it's just an port that has added bells on, basically.
I mean, and one of the worst cases of that. Remember The Last of Us? Remember that came out like a year on PS4 after it was out on PS3.
Yeah.
The thing is, when it was on the PS4, the only good thing that came out of it was on 60 FPS, unlike the original game. And it's like, it took you just now to get that right.
Yeah.
Friggin' Yakuza Ishin came out on PS4 for the first time and got 60 FPS right.
You know what else could have helped you not have to pay $60 for the game again? Backwards compatibility, which Sony failed on that front. That's another selling point for Microsoft consoles. The new console is going to be backwards compatible with everything that Xbox One can do at this point.
Here's the problem that when I hear the backwards compatibility issue, though, when you hear that as the argument, the want to buy a new console becomes less and less valuable.
Yeah, and most people do want for the new games. Yeah, they want new games.
Setups and all that. You can do a lot of shit with emulation and keep going with older games and stuff like that. But sometimes buying the same game, maybe collections or remasters or ports or something like that, just isn't justified. And the best thing you can do is just, get the emulator just so that you can save yourself some money. Because who the fuck is going to be able to buy every single game out there for $60? Yeah,
I do like the way Microsoft's handling it, though. You don't have to re-buy games if you had them before, as long as they're compatible. And, well, they do have it so, like, the new hardware can enhance some of the older games, too, to make them play better than they did before.
Yeah, like the biggest problem with that, though, is that if that's the only justification you have for buying a new console, it starts to become less and less valuable, especially when you compare it to PC gaming, where when you compare the PC gaming to the console gaming, the console has been catching up to the PCs now. Back in the day, it was initially the PC gaming, which had absolutely no front because home computers were still a new thing at the time. And then consoles were kind of just off and running, but because things just kind of stagnated and kind of just went to a certain point where it's like a comfort zone, I guess you could say, for a lot of companies, being like, oh, we can make this sort of game and get away with selling it at this value.
You're right.
And this creation, because you can't really go very far at all. I mean, we can go this far and then push it a little bit with microtransactions and shit like that, and we can just kind of run with it instead of, trying to innovate and shit like that, because that costs money. And it makes it's more frustrating and it's more aggressive to push that towards the, whatchamacallit, the AAA companies, because they're sitting on a lot of money, and the only thing they're doing is just touching up the game every now and again. And all the original developers and all the original IPs that are on the shelves, the original developers that were there are all either dissolved or gone and moving on to other projects, or forced onto another project that they don't want to do, and the original IP that gets brought back becomes something else that's just nothing like the original and just turns into something much worse or better, but that's very rare in that instance.
EA and Activision have ruined gaming. EA, Activision, Epic have ruined gaming for everybody.
The only good thing that Epic has done is given the software that allows you to get a free game every now and again. I got Overcooked 2 for free at one point, so...
Oh, nice.
There is some good out of it, so...
Yeah...
That's a very thin silver lining, to say the least. Because gaming in terms of console gaming, it's fucking sad.
Only
Unless you're
Nintendo's delivered unique products, which even then, the Wii U was flawed in its concept as well. Because it was underpowered, and the tablet controller was unwieldy for some people.
And it didn't have enough games to justify its purchase, especially since all those games eventually did get ported to Switch anyway.
It was basically just HD Wii, yeah, and almost every game is now ported to Switch because the Wii U sold like shit.
And the Wii U, the only good thing about the Wii U was it ran a lot of games 60 FPS, if I'm correct.
Because Nintendo tries to keep their own games at high quality. They try to do it right.
Yeah, the only problem is it didn't... Although, I'm not sure how well the games... Actually, because some of the games run on 30 FPS on the Switch, though.
It's usually if they're, like, really, like, hardware-intensive, though. A lot of third-party ones tend to do that. I don't know how many first-party ones do, other than Animal Crossing.
I heard Luigi's Mansion runs at 30.
Well, that game looks gorgeous. And, well, that doesn't need to have super high frame rates, so...
I guess you're going for, like, the high challenge stuff, I guess, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Like, stuff that's, like... stuff that's really fast-paced or is, like, dependent on, like, split-second reactions, like Mario Odyssey. Yeah, 60 FPS makes sense. Something that's just a little more leisurely...
Catching ghosts is the thing with the Luigi's Mansion 3, and it's like, when you're trying to catch ghosts at a very fast frame rate, that fast frame rate can kind of mean difference.
Yeah, that is true.
Because I feel like that game's very fast-paced. Because I know shit like, you know, let's see, Fire Emblem, Three Houses, that can run at 30 FPS because, you know,
it's a strategy game, yeah.
So, you don't have to worry too much.
It's a strategy game, it's laid back. Animal Crossing can run at 30 FPS because it's a very laid-back life simulator. Also, hi, Wild Haunter. I think you're under-leveled, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wait, he evolves level 25, doesn't he?
I think 16, actually.
I don't think he evolves that early. I could be wrong, though. 25.
Hang on.
It's 25.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so he's right. Never mind. One of the trainers had another leveled Haunter. That's what got me. God damn it.
Haunter that's, you know, not supposed to be at the level that it is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this game definitely did that sin a lot. Then again, Pokemon Yellow, you can catch a level 7 Pidgeotto.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that was the one with the level 7 Pidgeotto.
Level 7! And that apparently justifies one gym leader in Gen 2.
Faulkner.
Yeah. Level 9. You bastard. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember... I wonder if you can ever do, like... I wonder, like, how the glitch is to set up so you can actually catch other trainers' Pokemon. Because apparently, if you do catch them, you can actually see their natures, and apparently they have really good natures. And IVs for
that does not surprise me. Well, I guess that's more for the later games.
Yeah, because when you put them in, like, the math things, they probably did, like, the max math that they could in order to optimize the Pokemon to be as hard as they possibly can for you to fight off against at that current level, I guess. That's, I guess, the justification for it.
Yeah, I think natures didn't really start coming a thing till Gen 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's when that started.
It was Gen 3.
I know Gen 7 apparently actually, like, really tried to customize Pokemon based on their natures really well. At least that's what I heard. Apparently, fighting Kukui, his Pokemon are, like, competitively tamed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like all of the gym leaders as well, because they're, like, competitively tamed, because their IVs and their natures are set up in such a way that it's supposed to be as... What is it? Optimized as possible, and as far as it at that point in time. The only difference at that point is just levels.
Yeah.
And why some of the levels are just absolutely low, and why Pokemon seems is such a joke.
Well, it'd also be nice if EXP share wasn't forced on you, but...
Yeah.
That's a whole nother issue, I guess.
I didn't get a chance to say anything about the whole thing. Like, but I'll just say it now.
Okay.
I feel like the Wii U was a good console. It's just the market piss poor.
Oh yeah, the market was piss poor because you couldn't tell if it was another Wii or it was just an upgrade to the Wii. People didn't know the difference.
An attachment to the Wii.
Yeah, nobody could tell the difference. If it was a new console or just something to add on, which.
And the marketing for it was kind of piss poor, and I didn't really bother with it at that point in time because it was just like, I get the feeling this is not going to last very long.
The Wii U had amazing games, but yeah, its marketing sucked. Mario 3D World was a lot better than 3D Land, and I like it more than Galaxy 1, surprisingly. It also had Breath of the Wild, despite people's frickin' discredit to that.
Yeah. Which makes me hope... Well, if that... There's Xenoblade Chronicles X. There was fuck, was it Wonderful 101 and Bayonetta 2.
Yeah. And the remake to the HD remaster / remakes to Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Pikmin as well, Pikmin 3.
And Pikmin 3, I did like Pikmin 3, yeah. It kind of blended both the time mechanic of Pikmin 1 and the more relaxed feel of Pikmin 2 together.
If there was a Pikmin game I would play, I'd rather just play 2 because I don't like dealing with the time.
Well, it's not
Then
really
again-
bad in Pikmin 3. You just need to collect a lot of, like, food and, like, extends how much time you have. You can have, like, 40, 50 days left. You are not on a tight schedule. Unlike Pikmin 1.
The thing with, whatchamacallit, Pikmin, it's not that kind of game for me.
Yeah, I mean,
The
I enjoyed the
micromanaging
third
is
one.
kind of weird for me.
Yeah, I'm not too
That's
big
the
of a
guy
Pikmin.
that does, Stardew Valley, but I don't know, Pikmin just doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Pikmin 3, but I'm not too big on the Pikmin games in general. So,
Yeah, Pikmin's one of the series that, kind of like Animal Crossing, I'm not too big on. Sometimes I'll do like a simulator kind of game like Stardew Valley, but that's very... Like, the question is it in the cards for me? And more often than not, it's usually no.
if only the Wii U had true console sellers, like 1-2 Switch. No?
Mm.
God damn it. Makes me sound like an
it's,
idiot.
It's there.
Yeah, I know. There are good games for the Wii U, but yeah, the marketing was shit. But thankfully,
Yeah.
a lot of the great games have been getting ported to Switch, so the Wii U just feels like it was not needed now.
Yeah.
Although I do have Virtual Console still, so that's really the only reason worth holding on to it.
Yeah,
the
and when
Switch
you
will-
sit down in the Virtual Console thing, it's just kind of... Yeah, that's the biggest thing that the Switch has a problem with, especially considering the...
Like, the subscription things are fine, but having a legit Virtual Console would make it even better. Playing everything like up to Nintendo 64, hell, even GameCube on the go. Like,
Yeah, and
come
the library
on.
they have for it is just the most unacceptable piece of dog shit I've seen in a while, because, like, what
like
kind of
half the
fucking games
games
do you
are really
have
good,
on-
and the other half of the games is like, why would I go out of my way to play this?
Like, this seems like something you just pulled out of your ass because you just didn't feel like being asked to talk to the other companies about possibly putting your... And there's also, like, a bunch of, collections being sold as well with all the other games as
For a
well.
moment, I thought you were gonna say Cox. It was like Cox at Nintendo were frickin' trying to restrict all the bullshit. Like, what the?
Yeah, well, but yeah, this,
Alright.
like... Yeah, that's the end of the part.
Oh shit! Right.
With them some more time.
Right.
Yeah. I guess we could pick up on this or another conversation another time. So, yep. See you
Yep.
guys next time. We're gonna continue on Pokemon Tower, I guess, and talk about some bullshit again.
Yep, possibly.
So, see you guys then.